Hello guys, we hope everyone is well. This is the first part of our story, Treasure Island. Let's get started and have fun all. The wind howled through the dark night as I sat by the fireplace in the Admiral Benbow Inn, my family's modest establishment. Rain battered against the windows, and the sound of thunder echoed in the distance. It was a stormy evening, the kind that made me appreciate the warmth and comfort of the inn even more. I was just a young lad at the time, curious and full of imagination. Life at the inn was mundane, but that night was different. Little did I know that a series of events was about to unfold, events that would forever change the course of my life. Suddenly, the creaking of the inn's door caught my attention. I turned my head, and there, standing in the doorway, was a figure shrouded in darkness. Rainwater dripped off the brim of his hat, and his heavy coat was soaked through. I couldn't make out his face, but there was something about him that sent chills down my spine. The man entered the inn, his boots leaving wet footprints on the wooden floor. He had a long, unkempt beard that reached his chest, and his eyes gleamed with a mixture of weariness and suspicion. His appearance alone told a tale of a life at sea, a life filled with adventures and countless battles. As he approached the counter, my father, the innkeeper, greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome, sir. What brings you to the Admiral Benbow on such a stormy night?" The stranger's voice was gruff and weathered as he replied, "A room for the night if you've got one. And a glass of your finest rum, if you please." My father nodded and handed him a key. "We have a room available, and I'll get you that rum right away." I watched the stranger from my seat by the fire, captivated by his presence. There was an air of mystery about him, as if he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. I couldn't help but wonder what tales he had to tell. As the night wore on, the inn grew quiet, and the storm outside raged on. The stranger, whom my father called Billy Bones, sat alone at a corner table, nursing his drink. His eyes darted around the room, his gaze lingering on the shadows as if expecting trouble. Curiosity got the better of me, and I mustered the courage to approach him. "Excuse me, sir," I said timidly. "Are you a sailor? Have you traveled to distant lands?" Billy Bones turned his gaze towards me, his eyes piercing through the dimly lit room. He studied me for a moment before speaking. "Aye, lad, I've sailed the 7 seas and seen more than me fair share of adventures. But mark my words, the sea can be a treacherous mistress." His words sent a shiver down my spine. I was drawn to this mysterious old sea captain, his tales of adventure and danger. Little did I know that his arrival at the Admiral Benbow would set in motion a chain of events that would lead me on the most thrilling and perilous journey of my life. As the night grew darker, I couldn't help but feel that there was more to Billy Bones than met the eye. What secrets did he carry? And how would his presence at the inn change everything for me and my family? Little did I know that the answers to these questions lay just beyond the horizon, waiting to be discovered. And so, with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, I prepared myself for the adventures that awaited me, starting with the enigmatic old sea dog, Billy Bones, who had found refuge at the Admiral Benbow Inn on that stormy night. Little did I know that my life was about to take an unexpected turn, forever intertwining with the world of pirates and hidden treasure. The inn was bustling with activity as the patrons went about their business, completely unaware of the impending danger lurking in the shadows. Captain Bones, a notorious pirate with a checkered past, had found temporary refuge at this remote inn to escape his pursuers. Little did he know that his past was about to catch up with him in the form of a haunting figure known as Black Dog. As the evening wore on, the door swung open, and a tall, dark silhouette stepped into the inn. The air grew heavy, and a sense of unease washed over the room. All eyes turned towards the stranger as he scanned the crowd, his piercing gaze sending shivers down the spines of those who dared to meet his eyes. Black Dog's presence was intimidating, his tall frame and black attire making him a figure of fear and mystery. There was a palpable tension in the air, and whispers of his name spread like wildfire through the inn. It was clear that Black Dog was no ordinary visitor. Captain Bones, sitting at a corner table, felt a chill run down his spine as he caught sight of the ominous figure. Memories of their shared past flooded his mind, reminding him of the debts left unpaid and the promises broken. He knew that facing Black Dog would mean confronting the dark secrets he had tried so hard to bury. Summoning all his courage, Captain Bones rose from his seat and approached Black Dog, his heart pounding in his chest. The onlookers held their breath, anticipating the confrontation that was about to unfold. Words were exchanged between the two men, their voices low and filled with bitterness. Captain Bones pleaded for mercy, for a chance to leave his past behind. But Black Dog was relentless, his eyes burning with a vengeful fire. He made it clear that he would not rest until he had exacted his revenge. As the tension reached its peak, a commotion broke out in the inn. The innkeeper, sensing the trouble that was brewing, hurriedly intervened, demanding that the two men take their grievances elsewhere. Reluctantly, Black Dog turned and left the inn, disappearing into the night. The patrons of the inn let out a collective sigh of relief, grateful that the confrontation had come to an end. But deep down, they knew that Black Dog's departure was only temporary. He had promised to return, and the threat of his vengeance still loomed over Captain Bones. As Captain Bones lay on his deathbed, his body frail and weak, he beckoned Jim closer. His voice, a mere whisper, carried a sense of urgency. "Jim," he said, "I've kept a secret from you, but now it's time you know. The time has come for you to take the reins." Jim's heart pounded in his chest as he leaned in, eager to hear what Captain Bones had to say. The old captain's eyes held a glimmer of both fear and determination. "This map," Captain Bones continued, his voice trembling with effort. "It holds the key to a great treasure. A fortune beyond your wildest dreams, but beware, for there's a danger that lurks within." With a trembling hand, Captain Bones handed Jim a worn and aged piece of parchment. The map was marked with intricate lines and cryptic symbols, indicating the location of the hidden treasure. Jim's eyes widened with excitement and anticipation as he realized the magnitude of what lay before him. But before Jim could fully grasp the significance of the map, Captain Bones spoke again, his voice filled with grave warning. "Beware the black spot, Jim," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "It's a mark of death, a warning from those who seek to prevent the treasure from falling into the wrong hands. If you receive the black spot, you must be on your guard, for danger is close at hand." Jim's mind raced with questions, but before he could voice them, a knock echoed through the room. The door creaked open, revealing a figure cloaked in darkness. It was Blind Pew, a notorious beggar known to be a messenger of ill tidings. In his outstretched hand, he held a small piece of blackened paper, the unmistakable black spot. With a voice filled with malice, Blind Pew spoke, his words dripping with menace. "Captain Bones," he hissed, "you've been marked for death." With a swift movement, he placed the black spot on the captain's chest, sealing his fate. Captain Bones took one final gasp of breath, and then his body went limp, life extinguished. The room was filled with an eerie silence as Jim stared at the lifeless body of the man who had been his mentor and guide. The black spot lay on Captain Bones' chest like a sinister omen, a reminder of the perils that awaited Jim on his journey. Determination burned within him as he realized that he had been thrust into a world of treachery and adventure. With the map in his possession and the memory of Captain Bones' final warning fresh in his mind, Jim vowed to uncover the treasure and face whatever challenges lay ahead. And so, as Blind Pew slinked away into the night, Jim set his gaze on the horizon, ready to embark on a perilous quest that would test his courage and cunning. The black spot served as a constant reminder that danger lurked around every corner, but Jim was prepared to face whatever lay in his path. The journey to uncover the hidden treasure had begun, and Jim was determined to see it through to the end. As Jim and his mother carefully rummaged through Captain Bones' sea chest, their excitement grew with each discovery. The chest was filled with a variety of intriguing items, hinting at the adventurous life the old pirate must have led. Among the treasures they uncovered were stacks of weathered bills and coins, glittering in the dim light of the room. Jim's eyes widened with amazement as he realized the fortune hidden away in the chest. He glanced at his mother, who wore a mixture of awe and concern on her face. She knew that this newfound wealth could change their lives, but she also understood the potential dangers associated with it. As they continued their search, they found a collection of clothes, mostly tattered and worn, bearing the unmistakable smell of the sea. These garments were a testament to the countless journeys Captain Bones had embarked upon, a reminder of the untamed world beyond the safe confines of their home. But amidst the stacks of money and worn-out clothing, Jim's attention was drawn to a small leather-bound book. It was the log-book of Captain Bones, filled with handwritten entries chronicling his voyages, encounters, and hidden treasures. Jim's heart raced as he realized the significance of this discovery. The logbook held the key to understanding the secrets Captain Bones had guarded so closely. However, Jim decided to keep his most significant finding hidden from his mother and anyone else who might be tempted to claim the treasure for themselves. It was the map, meticulously folded and concealed in the lining of the chest. The map held the promise of unimaginable riches, but it also meant danger and uncertainty. Jim hesitated for a moment, torn between his desire to share his discovery with his mother and his instinct to protect it from potential harm. Finally, he made up his mind. He carefully concealed the map within his pocket, determined to unravel its mysteries on his own and protect his family from the perils that lay ahead. With the knowledge of the hidden map burning in his mind, Jim closed the sea chest, leaving behind the money, clothes, and logbook. They would have to be dealt with later, but for now, the map was Jim's secret, a secret that held the promise of a grand adventure and perhaps the key to a better future for him and his family. Little did Jim know that his decision to keep the map hidden would set in motion a chain of events that would lead him on a perilous journey, testing his courage, resourcefulness, and loyalty. The sea chest and its contents were just the beginning of an epic tale that would unfold on the high seas, where Jim would encounter both friend and foe, discovering the true meaning of bravery and the price one must sometimes pay for the pursuit of treasure. Sorry guys, this is the end of the first part. Wait for the second part.